You're gonna pretend like our friends are not here, okay? And we're just gonna do our regular schmegular. All right, so you did this yesterday.
Yeah.
This we're gonna work on first, which is phonics and reading. So let's see. I'm gonna put this here. The first thing that you are going to do is write your name right here. And then you're gonna listen to the name of each picture and you're gonna write the spelling for the sound in each box, okay? So write your name at the top first. Make sure you do it very neatly. Very good. All right, so this word right here, look right here. That says can. Write the C in the first box, and then you being extra. Write the word. Write the letter. And, okay, that's the N, but look, there's 3 letters, so you're missing one in the middle. Those are corrections, and I want you to write what you hear. Try to make a sentence out of what you hear.
But it's high.
Hold on, I'm gonna read it, so you don't just stop. Don't do anything. I'm Sam. I am. You need to write a lowercase a. It's a sentence. You need to write a lowercase a. You make the first letter big, and then the other ones, unless it's a name, it's small. So, okay. Another thing about a sentence is you have to have an what is it called? You have to end the sentence with, what is the mark called, Jeremy?
Huh?
What is the ending of a sentence called? The marks.
Punctuation.
Punctuation. You gotta end the sentence with a punctuation mark. That's how you end your sentence. So it's gonna say I, and then it's gonna have a punctuation at the end. So you gotta start with something big and then have a punctuation at the end. So this is your capital letter, and then I'm gonna put a line right here so you can remember you gotta have a punctuation at the end, okay? So I, and then the word am is A, M. I am. Who was it?
Pam.
Pam. And because it's somebody's name, you got to make it a big letter first, right? So we capitalize somebody's name. So Pam, a capital P. And then Pam sounds like am. A. M. And then that's the end of the sentence. We don't even have to go all the way down there. So then you're going to end it with a period. Okay, let's say, nope, you don't have to do that. That was just me showing you. Let's say I am Sam. Let's do that one down here on the next sentence. Right here.
I did get it. Okay.
So tell me about it. Okay, yeah, I.
Gonna stay in this moment. Gonna lay here on the grass. Being gone on adventures for a while. No, no. 'Cause the best thing about it is I know I'm coming.
I am Pam. Very good job. Okay, So one other thing that's real, and then Sam is another word, right?
Yeah.
So you have to give those words spaces, okay? They need space to breathe.
Stone could wear a blindfold. No matter what I do, I'm coming home to you. And I don't know why, don't know why, don't know why. I'm always feeling homesick. Oh. All I know, all I know, all I know is this is where my heart is. Oh, ends.
Okay, so after watching that, I want you to know that that is a part of the school. That's like the perk of homeschool. Like, you find a moment where your child needs more, and you set aside the lesson plans for the day, or you can set aside whatever else you had, and you can really hone in and focus on one area. And for Jace, I found that I saw that he needed a little bit more practice writing sentences, and it was our first time actually writing sentences. We haven't done any type of structural writing yet. And so I took that moment to think about all of the different things that we had in our home where I could help him and give him more practice and give him more hands-on, and just kind of forgot about the worksheets until I felt like he had a good grasp on writing sentences. Now, since we've been off for the last couple of weeks, he was struggling with what most kids struggle with when they start school again. So like in August, the kids have had off in a traditional setting, or even maybe in some homeschool settings. You would have off, let's say, end of May, beginning of June, all the way, you know, till August, whatever the date is that they go back. And so when they go back, they have to go into this like transitional period where they have to like pull things from their memory, and maybe right away they don't remember. So most teachers, they recognize that, and so that's usually like a review period so that they can be reminded of the things that they learned. Well, he's been out of school technically for about 3 weeks now, and so it's the same thing. The good thing about it though is that we don't have to dig deeper. My baby didn't have to dig deep in his bag, because right there in his mind, it was just like a small, quick kind of like loss of thought. And so I just stopped and we started reviewing. I didn't get frustrated. I didn't get upset. I didn't get angry. I didn't let him get frustrated. I saw that there was a struggle, and I paused, and we figured it out and we worked it out. And now we'll continue. That'll be something that I'll continue to work on throughout the week. And so what I wanted more than anything was to encourage you. And if I can find a way to encourage you better, like if I can show you an example of like a struggle that I have in my homeschool and how I overcome that, something that you could potentially have as well, I feel like it would be better to show you that example and then to give you advice on what we did to get through it. So this is like the reality of what happened for the rest of our school day. So I'm going to show you everything that we were able to get done. I did not film it because at that moment I wanted to keep the cameras out. So I chose to show you this one moment, and then I removed the camera so that I could really focus on my baby. Because if I have a camera in my face, it's very difficult for me to try to juggle both and do my best at both of them. And so the camera goes away. Of course, my focus is always going to be my babies, and I hope that you can understand that. What did I do during that time frame? So what he was working on came from his phonics book. So it came from this book right here, which you guys know if you watch my curriculum video. This is the book that we're going to be using for one of the books that we're using for English. I actually added something else in and I didn't tell you guys, so stay tuned for that. So from phonics to reading is what we utilize. And so he was working on page 13, and he had to write all the letters in the sound can, like spell out can. Now these words he knows these words, and how quickly he was able to pull out that information and just kind of remember that you know this stuff. This isn't hard. So he had to write out the word can, the word hat, and the word map, and he did. It took him a little bit, you know, he had to like freshen his memory, but he remembered them. And then he had to listen and spell. And so there was another page that had a book in there that I read to him. And so in this book, I read this to him, and then he had to pull out the sentences that started with I am. So I am Dan, or I am Sam, I am Pam. Those were the sentences that he had to write. Now, again, this was his first time writing sentences. So this was like the introduction for him. Which my assumption is that they thought that he could do this, or maybe they just dived right in. Dove right in. Either way, it's fine. I just needed to take a little extra time with him. And so he started to write them, but he didn't quite understand how to write the full sentence. And so he wrote, I am Sam. He wrote, I am Pam, and he wrote, I am Max. Now, what I did, because as he was writing these sentences, he just could not understand what he was doing. And so I put the worksheet down, and I grabbed a dry erase board, which I don't even have it with me, but I grabbed a dry erase board. I grabbed two, one for myself and one for him. And then I wrote my sentences. I am Sam. And then I gave him a board, and I showed him my board, and I told him to copy mine. So then he went ahead and copied my sentence on his board. And then I showed him, this is a sentence, and that was my moment to teach him what a sentence was, how they're structured. The first letter is capitalized. The last, at the end of the sentence, you have a punctuation mark, so it's a period, or if it's a question mark, exclamation mark. We didn't go over all of them, but I just told him this is where you end your sentence. So you begin the sentence with a capital word, and then you end it with your punctuation mark. And so we just talked about periods. And so you say your sentence and you put a period. If it's someone's name, you capitalize their name to recognize that person and who they are. And so we worked on that. That was great. It was fun. He got it. And so we kept moving on from there. So once I felt like, okay, because he does catch on pretty well. He catches on quick. So once he caught on to that, then I showed him a magic finger trick. And the magic finger was every word needs space. Okay, so you have to give every word space. So if you write a word, this is the finger that tells the other word that I need my space. And so you write the word, teaches boundaries too, right? You write the word, put your finger down, write the next word. Then you pick your finger up, put your finger down. And so you continue to do this throughout your paper as you write your words. You give each word a space. And I know some people, they do 2 spaces, but we just did 1. 1 space was good enough. And so then he learned how a sentence is structured. You have a capital letter at the beginning, you have a period at the end, and you have spaces in between the words. Each word has a bubble, right, around it. So then he can understand that. Once he got that down, then we went back to his worksheet and we completed the worksheet. But I felt like it was necessary to pause. And so I'm saying all this to say that it is less about flipping through every single worksheet and just flying through the worksheets just to be able to check them off and say that you got them done. And it is more about taking your time and cater your child's learning experience to what they need. Not what you want to do, not what your planner says that you need to get these lessons done, but what they need. And as we are looking into curriculum out there, and as we are looking and seeing all these beautiful different manipulatives and things like that, that's wonderful. But remember, you can use the things that you have around you. If I didn't have a whiteboard, so if you're listening to this and you think, I don't even have a whiteboard, just get a piece of paper. It's less about the thing that you have and more about the thing that you do for your child and with your child. So if you don't have a whiteboard, not a problem. Grab a piece of paper, a blank piece of paper, and just write it down with your kid. Show them that, you know what, I see you. I see that you're having a hard time. I'm going to do it. You can follow my lead. I'm going to hold your hand through this and we can do it. And so he was so excited that he completed that. There were more things for him to do on the back, but I got a win. I got a win out. He was excited. He was proud of himself. And the last thing that I wanted to do was tire him out of doing and learning about the words. And so we just completely skipped the back because we took it upon ourselves to do other things. Now, will I go back and do this? Probably not. We probably won't go back and do this. Let me see what's on the back. It says make new words. So we're not going to go back and make new words. They just want you to take words and scramble them. This is something we're going to skip. Why? Because we did other things. And I'm going to tell you what else we did. So besides the whiteboard trick, that we did of just working together. I found this. I got this from Lakeshore Learning last year, I believe. And I got it because I'm like, oh, this is a really good idea. Forgot I had it. It wasn't until I was going through this series of While You Wait, organizing and reorganizing, which I did. I found this. So this is a touch and read phonics word match, CVC words. So his struggle was that he was forgetting his sight words. He was forgetting because he hadn't reviewed them in so long. He was kind of forgetting them. And so this is these are 60 textured word cards with pictures and storage pockets. So this is what it looks like. So that is what it looks like, and this is what the inside looks like here. So it's numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And so I just took out the first one here. And it says CVC words, touch and read phonics words. And so I took this out and I laid this on the table for him just so that he could see his words, see his sight words that he has been familiar with, that he reads in books. And I set them out on the table and I had him go over each of the sounds and then read the words. So just as my daughter would do in kindergarten. So bat. We went over that. Okay, so after he has the word bat, then in the little pocket here, he gets to go in and find the word. So where is it? There it is. Bat. Okay, so there's the bat. So then he would just put this on the side. Well, he put it on the side. That's what he did. And then it comes with a little self-checking thing where you can check your child's answers. But I just had him check them himself. I just gave it to him and had him check his answers once he was done. And he got them all right. So that, and he was happy and he got a win. So if your child is struggling with something, let them get a win out. So I was happy that I was able to get him a win out, and then he felt good about his homework again. And we did not even go to the back page because it would have just been too much. Like, he got that one down pat. We were good, and we got a win out. And so the day went on. So he did that, and then I put everything back in here. I packed this back up, and then we're done with this, and now I'm going to give him a sticker for completing it. So that's something that I will have to do. So we got that done together. Once he was done with that, I wanted to play a game with him. So we did sight word bingo. And this is where I worked on his independence. Now, I said I wanted to play a game with him, but I let him play this game by himself. So normally you would think like, oh, I'll need another person to play with him so he can have something to play against. But what we did was we used this bingo. I gave him the little chips or the little pieces to put on top of there. And I just gave him one of these randomly. It comes with, I don't know how many in here, a lot. It comes with all of these here. And I just picked one up, gave it to him, and I told him every word that he knew to go ahead and put one of the little chips on there. And that's what he did. He went ahead and he filled up the bingo card. And he was happy. He was so happy that he was able to fill up his bingo card. Life went on. We had no problems. I really feel like it's about being flexible with them, being flexible and really understanding where your child at and meeting them where they are. So I met him exactly where he was. He was struggling initially. So instead of worrying about getting a worksheet complete, I stopped and I thought about, what could I do to help him? How could I think outside of the box to help him with this? And I want you to take that with you. No matter what the worksheet says, how do you move beyond the page? How do you move beyond this worksheet and help them understand what they're doing? And from completing that, we went into math because I wanted to give him a break from writing like words. So we went into math, and he does really well at math. It just really comes to him naturally. And so we did 4 sheets in math. And with the math, oh, I didn't bring them with me. With the math, I pulled out some manipulatives because we were reviewing the tens and the ones place. Now, he is very good in that, but I wanted to review it to see where he was. perfectly fine. So some things they remember right off the bat, and some things it takes a little bit. His English and his language arts took a little bit for him to remember. His math was right there, just like that. And so we did 4 sheets, front and back. So where do we end at? We stopped at page 10. So we did 7, 8, 9, and 10. And it was just as simple. So math was just a check off our list. And we have Saxon math that we will be starting once we're done with this. But we did those pages in this book, Horizon. I decided that with trying out their curriculum, for him, I'm going to do one at a time. So we're going to work on this math first, which is math workbook 1. And then we're going to go, after we complete workbook 1, then we're going to go into his Saxon math and we're going to complete that. Okay, so that's my plan, and that should get me through the end of the year for a whole year of school. So that's my plan for him, and we're going to go as fast or as slow as he needs to. And so once we completed his math, his 4 sheets of math, then we went into his handwriting, and I had him do half a page of this here, which is his handwriting without tears. And I had him complete 1 page of handwriting in here, which is his Zahner Blosser. I think that's how you say that. Did he do 1 page in here? Yes, he did 1 page. And that was it. Could he have done more in his handwriting? Yes. But it's not about exhausting them. It's about trying to get them to do their best. And when you get less than their best, then you kind of want to try to do something else so that they're not half doing something. And so that's what I did. What I also do is I keep a tab here for their next page. That way, if tomorrow came and unfortunately, God forbid, but if I wasn't feeling well, my husband could just pick up these workbooks and know what to go to, and I don't have like lesson plans written out for him. But if he picked it up, he would know exactly what page he would need to go to. I do tear out the pages here, so if he opened this up, the first page he goes to is the page that he would need to complete. I can't add a tab in here, but I just thought that I would add that in there. But that's all we did today. That was it. Oh, with the exception of him reading. He needs to read for 20 minutes, so he usually gets through 3 books. So he reads, and then we're done. Then he can go outside. Then he can play. Then he can swim. Then he can, all these possibilities open up. He was skating. He was doing Legos. He was doing so many things. So that, my friends, that is how we are flexible in our homeschool. We have a relaxed homeschool. That is how we were successful, and that is what a day in my life as a homeschooling mom